I'm Janet Sellars. I am currently the Director of Education for NASA Langley Research Center. When I'm asked, did you think you'd be here? Probably not, but am I surprised that I'm here? Nope, not at all. You know, I wanted to be in broadcasting and all of that. Didn't get there. I dropped out of college because I thought I was going to bum around Europe, but you got to have money to do that. So, you know, silly me. Forgot about that part. So I joined the military, and I was going to give them 4 years, try to squeeze a degree out of them and get out. I spent 13 years in, and you know, met the love of my life. Certainly didn't expect to be in civil rights and EEO, but then I shouldn't say I didn't expect it, because I think all things are foundational. Again, I think when we were toddlers, my brother and I were 15 months apart. My mom caught a cab to the March on Washington with her 2 toddlers in tow. And I don't remember any of that, but I know that was foundational. It is not an accident that I found myself in 1963 as a toddler, as a 3-year-old, at the March on Washington, and I work in civil rights for NASA Langley Research Center. Those things are not by accident. That is absolutely foundational. That is absolutely purposeful. It's divine. I got a love for writing and reading from my mom. One of the wonderful things about living in the DC area is everything is free and it's accessible by public transportation. And so we would take trips to like the Folder Shakespeare Library, we would take trips to the Smithsonian, the Air and Space Center, I mean, just everywhere. And she taught us, and her words were, you need to be able to dance with a prince as well as a pauper. And so she exposed us to things that put us in those types of situations where we could do all of that, and anywhere we were, we belonged. My mom taught us a work ethic as kids, and she didn't have a lot. You know, we weren't rich, and you know, my parents separated when I was very young, and so, you know, everything was up to her. She taught us how to, you know, to give and not expect things in return, and I think, you know, that has stayed with me. I guess from a personal standpoint, my greatest accomplishment are my children. I think because I raised them, they're, like I call them my 2 only children, because, you know, one is 32 and one is 17, so they were raised in different generations, and that they still talk to me, they still like me, you know. I think that's a huge accomplishment, but that's more of a personal thing. In terms of career-wise or achievements, I wrote a book back in 2005. It was a novel, and I self-published it. And I'm really proud of that because what motivated me to do it. My father had passed away in 2003. And I remember sitting at his funeral, and I thought, my goodness, I can't leave this world with regrets at all. I really didn't care if 2 people bought it, 2,000 people bought it. It really wasn't about that. It was really about doing what I said I was going to do and showing my children that they could do it too. And people underestimate me sometimes. And I think that's a barrier. I think people underestimate me because I'm a nice person. I come across, you know, very collegial and all of that. But I think they mistake that for a lack of toughness or a lack of assertiveness. And that's, that's a mistake. Do what you're called to do. Do what you're called to do. And if you know that early in life, be okay with that. If you don't know it right away, be okay with that. But when you get that call, answer it and do it. I never thought that I could be in a place in my life where the skills and characteristics and qualities that I have would even be useful to a place like NASA. So it wasn't even on my radar, so to speak. But once I got here, oh my goodness, I thought, oh yeah, this is the place. Yeah, I can do some things here. I came from a Department of Defense environment, a Department of the Navy environment, and everything was organized. People expect you to do things on your own here. They expect you to take initiative, you know, they expect you to be innovative and creative and all of those kinds of things right out the gate. I'm a believer that there's no such thing as luck. You know, preparation and opportunity really leads you to a blessing. And I think that's what NASA did for me, helped to prepare me for those opportunities.